Yo boys, today I'm bringing you one of my favorite builds to play right now, and that is Void Gauntlet Inferno. This build absolutely slaps and I highly recommend checking it out. So let's go into our gear here. We're running tumblers as our artifact of choice. You can also run the Azoth conductors here. These are another very solid option and I recommend running these, but these are a little harder to obtain since you have to get them from Gorgon. But you can get tumblers just from doing OPR, which is extremely easy to do. So tumblers, and then later you can switch them out for Azoth conductors. But I think tumblers are amazing for this build as well because they give you a lot of extra tankiness. On to our gear, we have a light head, heavy chest, medium gloves, heavy pants, and our equipment load is medium. Our shield does nothing, by the way. You want Frigid Dawn as your two heavy pieces here. That's simply because it comes with Elemental and Enchanted Ward, the two best perks in the entire game. You can't miss these. These are huge. And then I put Shirking Heels on there just simply because I just wanted it to be kind of a jack of all trades build. But if I was min-maxing, I'd put a conditioning perk here, so either slash or thrust. For our helmets here, I once again put Shirking. If I had the choice, I would put, once again, conditioning, slash or thrust. And then our hands here, we have Enchanted, Shirking with health. Ideally, I'll get rid of health here and put a conditioning perk again. And then in the Frigid Dawn here, I have Sturdy, useless. I would want a conditioning perk as well. And then light head. Here you want Shirking is nice. Critical Retribution is really good, especially for the Void Gauntlet, because the Void Gauntlet benefits a lot on crit. Health is useless. I would want Enchanted Ward there. Enchanted Ward is the best perk in the entire game, and you always want to make sure you're prioritizing that over any other perk. Enchanted Ward is the best perk hands down. Next would be Elemental Aversion. After that is a conditioning perk, and then you have like your weapon perks and all that good stuff. For our Void Gauntlet here, we have Blade with Killing Power and Vicious. I would ideally like Keen here over Vicious because the Void Gauntlet benefits more off crit chance, but this was the only Blade I could get that was not like 7+K. And for our third perk here, you want the PvP perk where you do more damage when you hit an empowered target, giving you some armor penetration. Now, the reason why I put Blade on my weapon here is because I love the extra healing it gives. You can totally put this on your armor, but I highly recommend putting it on your Void Gauntlet simply because the amount of healing you get from it is just too good, man. It's too good to pass up. We run an Opal in our Void Gauntlet. And then our Inferno will be our back bar. This allows our Void Gauntlet to do 15% more damage. This guy is an absolute menace to society when we're in 15 meters. So our Inferno pumps, our Void Gauntlet pumps, huge. It comes with Killing Power and Vicious, and you want Frost Attunement or the Nature Attunement. Either one will work. And that is simply because most people don't build Frost or Nature Attunement. So it will do more damage than having Fire Attunement here. Since we're not running any fire harnessing, we're not min-maxing our fire gear whatsoever, Frost Attunement is by far the best thing to go. Order Merit, Shirking and Power, and Thrust Protection. You always want a protection on your amulet, and that is just simply because it's just flat damage reduction, which is huge. Shirking Power allows us to consistently hit that Empower cap. And then Empowered here is useless. I would prefer Divines. Divine would be huge, but sadly I can't get Abyss Amulet. I would love a Divine's Amulet here. It'd be absolutely massive. By the way, if you want to know where you get Inferno, you get it from the Forge mutation, which is right here. Currently it's not mutated, but that's where you grab it. And next up is Blood Drinker. I have Slash on here. That's simply because I run a lot of Slash builds, but ideally you either want Keen for crit chance or Invigorating Punishment. Both of those options are very solid. And then the Wood Grain Earring here, Fortifying Toast, Regenerating, and Refreshing Toast. You can farm this as well. Very easy to grab. Basically is Bis in my opinion. And you can grab that all the way right up here by farming this guy up top. I have a farming video if you are interested in that. Or you can farm Life Loop, which comes from Need. What that does is that switch out Fortifying Toast for Mana Toast, where now instead of getting 20% Fortify when you drink a pot, you now gain 15% of your base max health back. So I think the Fortifying Toast is more valuable, but the Mana Potion is definitely a very solid alternative. Blood Drinker, if you're wondering where you grab that, by the way, you get that in Starstone Mutation, so not available right now. And if you are wondering for our gem setup, I have a lot of thrust damage because I was playing OPR the other night and all I was fighting was pure thrust builds. Blunderbuss, bow, and muskets were everywhere along with spears. But I don't recommend actually running this much thrust resist. It's too much. I have 35% and nothing else. A good balance would be 20% thrust, 20% slash. And that is just simply because strike resistance is not a mandatory thing. Most people aren't running hammers or strike or flail or anything like that. So slash and thrust are the two most important. And then you want to have 4 opals because people are splitting their elements like crazy right now. So having opals, in my opinion, is just better than having like fire gems or anything like that in your gear, but it can be completely different depending on your server. Now, as you can see here, we have a lot of resistance, 1700. If I end up drinking a potion here, our resistance will go up to 2200. And if I pop my void blade, we're now at 2400, 2300. And if I dodge in tumblers, I now have basically the same amount of armor as a heavy armor player would have, but I'm in medium. So we have an insane amount of resistance. If you are wondering, you can play this in heavy as well. That is completely fine. But I just prefer the medium role because I like the extra mobility it gives. Onto our stats here. 50 focus, a must. After that, I don't really care for it. 150 constitution to get that extra percent, 10% less crit damage, which is really nice. And on top of that, it allows us to have easier uptime with our blade perk here since we have more max HP to work with. And then the rest of our points will go into intelligence. Huge damage. We don't have our food buff on. With our food buff, we will go over 400. So do keep that in mind. By the way, our consumables for this build, I recommend grabbing regenerating serums. If you can't afford those, regen pots are just fine. Health potions, of course, hearty meals for the extra regen. And then on this build, you actually do kind of need mana potions. My mana sustain is kind of down bad. So I recommend grabbing some mana potions to help you with your mana sustain. For our heart runes, Stalwart Heart Rune, I prefer it. Just the extra survivability that this gives you cannot be beat in my opinion, but you can definitely run the Dark Ascent. I've tried both. I prefer the Stone Heart Rune instead, but if you're a Dark Ascent enjoyer, that is completely fine as well. And I recommend opals for the weapons, just simply max damage. The reason why you don't run Rune Glass is because you can't heal off dots with Blood Drinker, so anything that's dot related is useless, and we want to try and minimize that as much as possible, and not running Rune Glasses allows us to do so. On to our weapon tree. I have Fire Staff, Fireball, Pillar, and Burnout. This is the major three, the big three. Something important is combat speed. You get additional haste when you use the Fire Staff ability. You also get Fortify when Smolder is on you, so you get even tankier. So that's something to note. You always want to be burning the enemy, so you're always tankier. So do keep that in mind. A couple quick tips with the Fire Staff here is you want to heavy like this and immediately Fireball after. You can light into a pillar, something like that will animation cancel. You can also go into a burnout and then dodge early to kind of cancel the last part of the animation. Another thing to note, if someone's standing, let's say right here, you can use burnout and curve it in like this kind of a manner, and you will explode right on top of them, hitting with a nasty burst combo. As you can see, it's 130 plus 100, so 230% immediate damage. Can burst people down and catch people off guard. I'll showcase it here. So if someone's standing on that tree, you just want to go around like this and boom, right on the tree, big explosion, huge damage, and huge potential. And then something also important to note is strike the match here. You deal more damage with Pillar if they have more stacks of Smolder on them. So you want to use this kind of like after a couple autos or a Fireball, then you want to use Pillar of Fire to get the most value out of it. And then I just chose Runes of Helios for the extra empowerment. And I also recommend getting Spell Focus because our mana sustain is just not there. And having some extra heavy attacks with a regen mana is super useful for me. And then our other passives are just solid. Onto our Void Gauntlet here. We have Tether, Oblivion, and Void Blade. Now the reason why I chose to run this is simply because I have a hard time running away. We don't have enough mobility in my opinion to run away from like a lot of the builds that are just going to catch me no matter what. So I just said, F it, we're going to sit in our circle and we're going to fight like men. So we pop down a circle, hit them with the Tether, use the Void Blade, and we start going to town. And you just want to sit in your circle for as long as possible. The more you crit, the faster your circle comes up. And that's very useful. You do want the perk for Baleful Tether on your gear if you can get it. It's huge. The slow is massive for extra survivability. You can also get the Oblivion perk. That's also very solid as well. Now, why do I run these two over something like Orb or Scream? Well, that's simply because Tether gives me 10% weaken and 20% empowerment, which is insane. It also gives me a nice heal at the end, helps with mana, and it also reduces some cooldowns. Oblivion is another 15% empower, which also weakens the enemies inside by 15%. Huge. And it gives me 25 stamina regen. So when we're in our circle and they're hit with, and we hit someone's Tether, they're weakened by 25%. We're empowered capped and we're just going to town, dude. You just can't lose in that circle. And the more you crit, the faster your cooldowns come up. And that is simply because of this passive right here. 5% cooldown reduction on all abilities on critical hit. So this allows us to pump out our abilities faster. So critting is very important on the Void Gauntlet. Also crits heal you. So critting is huge. And it allows our Void Blade to also shred them. We also get Fortify when you pop Void Blade. Very nice, and we get 10% crit damage on Void Blade attacks. Huge and Void Collar, man. Like, we get a nice heal here. That's why we take the focus, so we can heal when we're also using Void Blade. Huge for extra survivability. The buffs you want to make sure you're bringing, by the way, are your Honing Stones as well, your food. And you also want to make sure you have your Sunrise in here to reduce dot duration if you can afford it. Very nice to have. If you guys want a quick demonstration of how I like to play, I like to poke with my fire staff. So start with a heavy fireball into a dodge there, or you can dodge earlier. Once you get some dots, you want to hit them with the pillar. Then once they get on top of you, I like to hit them with the tether, pop down the circle. Make sure you always have the opal proc up so you get a bunch of damage. You have a lot of stam sustain, as you can see here, through the circle. We can dodge lots, give us lots of extra survivability. And you just pump down the mobs. We are empowered cap, by the way, through our tether and our oblivion and one dodge from our tumbler. So if we hit our tether and we're in our oblivion and we dodge once with tumbler, we are empowered capped. And maybe asking, why do I like shirking empowered then? This gives you 21% in total. And that is simply because I find that I miss my tether quite often, or my circle will expire and I won't have the extra 15% in here. So having the dodging from Order of Merit is huge, allowing me to keep up basically infinite empower cap, which is huge, especially for the fire staff, because the fire staff doesn't really have good ways to get empower. So having permanent empowerment on your fire staff allows you to nuke people when they're within 15 meters, and you can just get some nasty burst combos off. All right, now I want to go over the best in slot variant of the build. You want Hasted Vigor, Slowing Tether with a conditioning perk here as well. Frigid Dawn is just too good, man, to pass up. Always run Frigid Dawn if you can. We have the light gloves here. We have Enchanted, Slash, and Fireball. Fireball I think is worth running here. You can also run Oblivion. I didn't include it, but that is another option. Enchanted Ward here. You definitely want to put Enchanted Ward here. Best perk in the game. Highly recommend sliding that bad boy in. We are running the Azoth Conductor. This is for the 15% more damage with Elemental. And since we're pure Elemental, flat damage is super nice. We then have the Heavy Footwear here. The Worm. This gives us 20% haste. This will definitely help us with our huge mobility problem that we currently have. And getting these are very important, I think, for a lot of builds, but they're extremely hard to get. So this is super, super endgame. And then you want to put Enchanted Ward on there as well for the extra tankiness. For our amulet here, you want Thrust, Divine, and Shuriken Power so we can keep up our empowerment. This still allows us to hit Empower Cap if we dodge 3 times and we hit all our Tether and our Oblivion, so super nice. I want Invigorating Punishment here. Abilities deal 1% more damage per buff on the player. We can get a lot of buffs, so we can do quite a bit of extra damage here. But if you don't like this, I recommend dropping this for Keen. They are both solid options. And this will just help the Void Gauntlet more, or the Invigorating Punishment is more for the Fire Staff. Keep that in mind, the Keen Awareness definitely will help the Void Gauntlet more. For here, I have the Wood Grain Earring, Regenerating Fortifying Toast with Refreshing Toast. And I just think this thing is just so good. You can farm it, super good into endgame. You can also get, like I said, Life Loop, which comes from your need. Both of those options are solid. And then down here, we have the Inferno, Frost Attunement, everything's the exact same. And then our Void Gauntlet here, we would put the blade here on it still. PvP only, critical attacks against empowered players, most people are empowering, 10% armor pen, this is huge. And then Keen for the extra crit chance to allow us to crit more and have more cooldown reduction onto our weapon here. I would ultimately choose to stall Heart Rune form, and that's simply because the survivability cannot be beat, but the Descent Heart Rune is another very solid option. If you guys did enjoy the video, it would mean a lot to me if you hit that like button and subscribe. I want to have a big shout out to all my YouTube channel members and my Twitch subscribers. Thank you so much for supporting me. It really means a lot. If you guys are interested, you can become a YouTube channel member today, or you can catch me while I'm streaming. I'll be streaming live pretty much every day during the evening, so make sure to come check that out. And with that, I'll leave you with some gameplay and hope you guys all have a fantastic day. I don't know, we gotta get into these rocks. See it. All right, this is 1. Make that 2. Make that 2. All right, burnout in. Oh, what is that tracking? Yee. Oh, burnout. Can I kill him? Alright, burnout maybe? He's dead. Nice. Huge. I have to pop this. I gotta go to town. Nice. Huge. We're fucking juicing, dude. Alright, big damage. He's not healing. This is good. Oh, my 4K on that guy. I want to stay on this bar. Huge, huge. Heavy. One more heavy. No, we missed. What the fuck? This guy trapped me again? This guy's annoying with those. Nice. Big damage. Come on. Heavy. Light, baby. Light. Hey, oh, we're going. Ew. Ew. Maybe I'm actually out? Holy shit. It's a fucking Christmas miracle. No, don't die on me, friend. I got you with the pillar. Burn out. I'm going in for you. Oh, we got one. Yo, let's go. Oh, another heavy. Boom. The comeback. See it. Oh, no, no. What's his plan? It's gonna pop my stone form. Okay, we got a 1v1. Oh, big damage. The guy went into me? Why would you ever do that? That man again. Oh, huge damage. Huge damage. Okay. I got you, boy. Oh my god, the duo, bro. No, let's go. All right, let's go. All right, burnout. Wait, we can kill him? Oh god. What am I doing? All right, just light attack him down. Huge. I win this, sir. I win this, sir. I missed. All right, big damage. Nice. 2Ks. Ow. Holy shit, spear hurts. Oh my god, he juked it with his fucking weird ass movement. There we go, we killed him though. He burned all his stam juking me. Ow. Ow. Alright, huge, big damage. Nice. Alright, nice. They put that on a circle, dude, and just become a Chad in here. Come here, sir. Come on. Let's not stop running. Dude, can this guy stop running? Alright, big damage though. Kill the mage first. Oh my god, dude, that guy hurts. Go in my circle, you know, play in the circle, boys. That's the key. You never leave the circle. Circle is justice. We are absolutely pumping. Which faction to join? Whichever one you want. If you can join all of them. They don't have any special bonuses. It's generally just I just pick whichever one you want to play with or whatever your favorite color is. Oh, these guys are invincible. Shit. Still invincible. I gotta burn out here. Is that a circle from my teammate? He's running. Oh, I'm getting healed. Yo, big dub. Wait, I can play way more aggressive. I have a healer in the tank. Huge. Nice, one down. Fireball here. Pillar there. Burnout in. Get the explosion. Huge. Put down my circle. Nice. Gotta go. Gotta damage. I have to damage to heal. The fuck? Bro's climbing. Oh, spear hurts. Uh-oh. It's okay. Void Gauntlet hurts more. But it's nice because most people come to me, you know? Huge dead. Alright. Got the